Hey there, everybody. This is Silk. We're doing a recap here for turn 11 of Operation A View to a Kill. If I sound a little discombobulated, I'm still somewhat recovering from the left cross that Panzer J threw at me there with his G12 turn. Um, Remember when I told everybody that I was really looking forward to this because I had a pretty good feeling I knew what Panzer J wanted to do with Germany, and I know for certain he knows a little bit about what I like to do with the Commonwealth. And so the two of us kind of going head to head would really mess with each other. And so far, I think we have, and it's just been delightful. I totally having fun with this. Nicely done there, Panzer J. You'll have to see my response in an day or two. But that is a turn 12 issue. We are talking about turn 11. So a couple things happened. By far, the Portugal thing is probably the most interesting one to talk about. So I'll get into that. I'll do a couple other minor kind of highlights of stuff. Italy. I think technically these guys are here. Whatever bit that matters. Italy, of course, is prepping itself for war. And you saw Japan. They came way over here, and this is way more than what's needed to kill these three dudes in a militia. I'm pretty sure that was pretty cognizant of Bruce there. Let me see if I can get a good view there of those guys. All right, so it's these guys here. Way more than what he needs just to take up $1 territory. So that certainly got the Allies' attention. If you notice, the America sending some Lend-Lease, and kind of the way I was just building a few things up, trying to kind of counter that play. But we don't know if it's real or not. It could just be a bluff as to whether he's going to come down here. Because at the same time, he went ahead and took a shot at grabbing my Indian armies, which I was a little surprised about. But I, again, don't know if he was doing that on purpose to get me out of the Mediterranean, because he kind of commented that, and he did. He absolutely got me out of the Mediterranean. My fleets come over, that kind of frees Italy up, and then Italy didn't declare war, which is what I was expecting, but they didn't do it. So I was able to kind of kill that and retake these guys. Would have loved to have gotten that transport, but dice are dice. And which, by the way, Prosperous, you are entirely correct. There's only one Anzac infantry here. I think I had misstated that when I was doing recap bit for my turn, but that was just the one Anzac, and there's not currently any British units in that stack yet. That'll probably change, though. We'll probably rail one. That'll be a later thing. Other than that, and then you saw KMT came back and built their kind of their consortium there. You're going to see that should get the Japanese attention here in China. I got to update just a little bit here because of this mess. They're technically up here and not down here, but still stuff starts dying. I really don't particularly care. But yeah, you've seen these guys go up, and Hambone slides back down, I think, to try to kind of split those forces. And this army here in Kwangtung is nowhere near the size this army is here in Sinkang. So you may see some fireworks there happening. As for dear old Commonwealth, as kind of noted here, America owns Portugal, and the question is obviously kind of why are you doing this? What's going on? So each game I tend to try to kind of want to work in something I haven't done before, just to see how it works. Do I like it? Do I not like it? What's going on? Those three French fighters, for example, it's the first time I've ever done that. It's been kind of on my to-do list as experiments, and I went ahead and felt that this would be a good game for that experiment. And I think it messed with Panzer J's early game. I don't know for sure, but I at least kind of felt like it was. I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do with them now, though. They're not quite as useful now that we've stabilized. But at the time, I felt like they did some good work for me. So that was kind of the experiment this game. And I have another game I was playing where America coming over and invading Portugal looked really good to me. But some other stuff happened, so we didn't do it. And as I was looking at this game, I kind of saw the opportunity board and had a nice chat with Hambone. We could decide to go ahead and launch it. And there's kind of a couple things to it. First one obviously is the money. It costs Great Britain $10, just to make the Dow, but there's $2 of income for Portugal if you can, as long as you can snag the colony. There's no reason to, if you can't snag the colony, don't be doing this. Like, try to at least make your money decent. And in that process, 5 turns makes you that $10, as long as you keep all those territories. So that'll net you over 5 turns. You've spent your money. On any future turns, you would then generate a profit. So if you look at the fact that I get to generate it immediately in 11, both my income went up by 1, American income by 1. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is our pay up date, and then turns 16 and beyond, as long as we still have them, we'll all be profit there. So it's a little bit better for us late game to have just a tiny bit of money. But the somewhat more important aspect is we're currently scoring triumphant capitalism, and I don't know that we'll score at the end of the game by any stretch, but we are at least scoring it right now. And to that end, I wanted to kind of increase the duration that we might be able to use that. At some point, I think the Soviets are going to be able to throw off the shackles. Germany's got a pretty big army, but as G12 spoiler alert here, Germany decides to kind of do a slightly different buy and doesn't go as hard land as I thought they would to deal with that Soviet army that's coming, partially because they have time. It's a giant Soviet army, but it's a giant slow Soviet army. So the Germans are going to be able to kind of outmaneuver them. Is certainly what the big advantage they're going to have. But to his chagrin, Pedro did not get his mechs on the board until last turn. But to his chagrin, GWE doesn't have any T-34s, which I'll probably talk about the Eastern Front next turn a lot more. I have not actually put any of the Russians' 75 freaking unit buy on the board yet. They play 75 units. There's a pretty decent chance to replace something like 30 down this turn. So rather than going through all that hassle, I don't have 54 militia tokens. Unlike Boston Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. quite impressed there. But they'll get consolidated, and that's why it's kind of why I decided I'd just go ahead and cheat, and I'll update Russia once they actually give me a consolidated turn where it's not quite as big of a mess for me. So once that happens, I'll actually talk about the Eastern Front and what's going on there, and the point situation, which I actually think is better than the Soviets think it is, but that's neither here nor there. But to the Portugal question, that capitalism is a point. So, and it's an ability. Like, the longer we can hold it, the more versatile that is for America to be able to place units in London. So far, he's only used it for infantry, but it can become, a jet fighter, a medium armor, a heavy armor, heavy strategic bomber, rockets, like all of those things. So the longer that we can keep that open as an option, the easier it's going to be for us kind of as a team. So that was the other reason. And the third bit of Portugal, which I'm curious to find out from Panther J for 12 why he did the buy he did, is it does open up some nice logistics for America. It gives them a different territory. America really likes this one here in French Morocco. This is a pretty good American territory strategically. From there, they can kind of go several different places and build a shipyard off of it, build some factories off of it, and kind of shorten their supply lines and go places they want to in Europe. Portugal acts very similarly in that regard, but it notably goes a little bit further north. So you have a slightly better option there, and it has the same sea zone that it shares with Morocco, and obviously it's adjacent to Gibraltar. So it's just kind of a great spot for America to build out of. And so if the Italians don't kill them, there's a pretty decent chance that Americans are going to do some pretty fun things out of Portugal. So look for that. That's probably about it, I think, as far as my recap currently. If you have not watched G12, go do that. It's freaking phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the Russians do. Maybe they'll come and save the Allies, but I wouldn't hold my breath. But you never know. So everybody take care, and I'll probably see you in we'll see. Let's say Tuesdays, probably Thursday or Friday. I'll see you for a recap video. We'll see how fast we go. So everybody take care and have a good day.